You're talking to a prospect, and the prospect says, I've been with your competitor for years. Why should I switch? How do you answer that question? I'm going to show you today on this episode of the Dave Lorenzo Daily. Hey, it's Dave Lorenzo. Welcome to another edition of the Dave Lorenzo Daily. Today we're going to answer this question for you. What do I do when my prospect says, I've been with your competitor for years? Why should I switch to you? That is one of the most common negotiating tactics prospects use. And believe me, it's a negotiating tactic. They want to do business with you, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to make you feel like there's some friction, there's some competition between you and their current provider. So I'm going to show you how to answer that in just 1 second. I want to remind you really quickly, please hit the subscribe button. I love to interact with you, and I want you to know every time I upload a new video, which is just about every stinking day. So join me here, hit the subscribe button. There's a bell up at the top of the YouTube channel. Ring that bell so you get notifications and you know when I upload a new video. Also, in the comments, let me know what you want to hear more about. Let me know what other videos you want me to shoot for you. What other questions do you have? I want interaction with you because I want a relationship with you. All right, so how do you answer this negotiating tactic when the client says, I've been with so-and-so, your competitor, for years. Why should I switch? Here's what you do. You can't answer that question directly. If you start spewing reasons why they should switch, you look really defensive and it looks like you're a little desperate for the business. So I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is I want you to sit back and I want you to go, so you've been with XYZ company for years. You know, maybe you shouldn't switch. I mean, you've been with them for years. You've been loyal to them. Let me ask you, why are we talking? Why am I even here? Why did you invite me in today? That turns the entire conversation around and it puts them in a place where they have to explain to you why they invited you in. Now, if they say, we're just looking, we want to keep XYZ company honest, we want to make sure that they're giving us the best deal possible, your response is, hey, that's fair, and I get it. I would do that if it were my business. I would want to make sure I was getting the best deal possible all the time. I understand completely. By the way, always agree. Always agree, never argue, never fight. In this specific situation, or in most situations with a prospect, don't fight. Because the minute you start fighting, you're losing. So you say, hey, I get it. You want to get the best deal possible. Makes sense to me. If there was one thing you could change about your relationship with XYZ company, what would it be? And see what they have to say. So here's the point. During this conversation, you're going to have to look at your counterpart. You're going to have to look at the prospect, and you're going to have to say, Mr. Prospect, I got to level with you. When people say that they want me to come over and talk about the value I can provide, and I do, and then they tell me that they're happy with where they are or they're satisfied with the current provider after all that conversation, usually it's some sort of a negotiating tactic. If that's what that is, can you let me know? Because I'd feel good about that, because that means we're going to make a deal, because I'll negotiate with you, I'll work with you. That puts cards on the table. Then you're challenging them to be honest with you. And that's what we really want to get to here. We really want to get to an honest conversation with the prospect. We want to let them know, hey, listen, I want to give you a good deal. I want you to be happy with the value I provide. I know you want to be happy with the value I can deliver for you. So let's just lay it all out, put all our cards on the table, and talk about what we can do for each other and not worry about switching or not switching from the other guy. You definitely want to switch from the other guy. That's why I'm here. That's the bottom line in this. The prospect needs to be honest with you, and if you're direct with him and explain exactly what's going on, exactly what you're feeling, in a way that allows him to feel like he's in control, in a way that allows him to always maintain his dignity, in a way that shows him, that demonstrates to him that you want a relationship with him, you'll be in great shape. Join me right back here tomorrow for another edition of the Dave Lorenzo Daily.